I think what's fascinating is it has two almost sort of opposite messages that can be true at the same time. On the one hand, this seems to be a message that is saying there is some sense to the idea that there's something involving the Mikdash that you have to wait for and that you shouldn't rush. That David is, in one sense, being overeager, and it's not appropriate, and that there are some things where it's okay that he doesn't get it done because it will be gotten done in the next generation, or in a future generation, and some things take generations, and that's okay on the one hand. And on the other hand, that's not the Mikdash that we're talking about. There is no message here that you shouldn't do the Olat Tamid, or you shouldn't do Korban Pesach because the time is not nigh and the nation is not ready for it yet. Those are just very straightforward, direct mitzvot given by Hashem to the people that they were apparently ready for the instant they left Mitzrayim, and they could start doing. And there was no issue of maturity, even of like you have to wait 40 years in the desert before you can do this. It's just like, okay, yeah, go ahead. Just like you're going to take the lulav or whatever else. These are mitzvot Hashem gave you, so do them. It's the ambassadorial part of bringing humankind together around the Mikdash by building a more palatial and more permanent structure. That's the thing that maybe you can acknowledge there's such a thing as rushing it too fast, and that in a sense there is no point in saying, in order to have that tomorrow, I'm willing to do anything because it's for Hashem and the ends justify the means, and so I'll trample whatever I need to, and I'll cut corners wherever I need to in order to just build as big a structure as I can on Har HaBayit as soon as possible and make it all nice and permanent because I want to have the Mikdash. Like, that's how maybe sometimes you might hear some people talking about it. And the point is, you shouldn't do that, because if this is about making it a Beit Tfilah for all Amim, making it a house of prayer for all nations, that is the part where you have to tread slowly, and you have to slowly build consensus and build standing in the world and build relationships with other nations and bring them in by voluntarism and by their attraction to Avodat Hashem that they see from the example of Bnei Yisrael. But that's not the Mikdash. That's not the sacrificial cult. That's not, a sheep in the morning and a sheep in the afternoon are, a fully consumed elevation offering every day. That whole thing is not the thing that we're saying you can't do until you get the whole world on the same page. But there is maybe a message that is more reasonable that's saying there is a kind of way of treading carefully and slowly and patiently when it comes to things where, in a sense, the point of doing them involves other nations. So to say, to hell with them, we're going to do it anyway, doesn't really make sense. It does make sense to really do the work and make sure that you are building peace in the world enough to merit building a house of prayer for all the world.